Good afternoon. Oh, you guys can do better than that. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Superintendent Dr. Maria Kostarfin, Mayor Kasim Reed, Commissioner Tim Keane, and our distinguished guests. Welcome to Joseph E. Brown Middle School, home of the mighty Bulldogs, located in the historic West End community, which is the epicenter of greatness. 4.7 miles from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, 1.3 miles from the Atlanta universities, Spelman, Morehouse, Clark, Atlanta University, 1.7 miles from the Herndon Home Museum, the Herndons, who was one of the most prominent Black families in Atlanta's history, reflected the city's distinctive development as a center for Black business, education, and culture. 0.5 miles from the Hammond House Museum, which touches upon so many categories of the Atlanta history. 0.4 miles from the Wren's Nest. The Wren's Nest Museum preserves the legacy of Joel Chandler Harris and the heritage of African American folklore, and the corner away from the West Side Atlanta Beltline. Welcome to Brown Middle School, where the faculty, staff, and community are committed to working together relentlessly as we strive to continuously improve student achievement while creating a momentous impact where every child's unique gift is nurtured. I am Tiana Crooms, the proud principal of the Brown Middle School. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Dr. Maria Kostarfin, Mayor Kasim Reed, and esteemed guests. My name is Amani Vasti, and I serve as your Miss Joseph E. Brown Middle School. On behalf of Joseph E. Brown Middle School, we would like to welcome you to today's event. Like countless other individuals, I moved here 5 years ago, and I instantly fell in love with what is now my home, Atlanta, Georgia. Over the years, I've seen nothing but growth and change in our community, making it an only easier going and appreciation of my neighborhood and education. A major event I must also acknowledge is the building of our Atlanta Beltline, in which I was able to attend. Being a student of much activity, I indeed use and appreciate a safe way of travel to and from. So again, thank you all for that astonishing progression in a way of travel. And once again, on behalf of Joseph E. Brown Middle School, staff, students, Principal Crooms, and our West Side community, we greatly appreciate your visiting with us and interest in our education. As a future entrepreneur and homeowner, I hope you are as excited as I am to see what the future holds for our incredible city, for it is only the beginning. Thank you and enjoy.
Good afternoon. Dr. Kostarfin, Mayor Reed, Chairman English, Board Member Amos. Thank you, Principal Crooms. Thank you, Commissioner Keane, and all of the staff of Atlanta Public Schools and the City of Atlanta. Thank you for coming today. I just realized just now that I was supposed to speak, so I'll be very brief. Last November, not sure if you remember Dr. C. Dr. C came to one of our meetings, and she said, I challenge you to find partners who will invest in our kids. I'm the social studies coordinator for all of APS's middle schools and high schools. And so along with my colleagues, Sherry McEachern and Catherine Nails, we set forth a plan to find partnerships who would be true allies and help us to create curriculum and experiences for our kids. When we met with Commissioner Keane and his staff, hi Leslie, we first started to set out to select a few students who would be interested in urban planning. And as we began talking about the text that the city has published, it dawned on us that we might not benefit from selecting just a few kids. We came up with the idea to write a project for all of APS's kids. So this spring, After you've taken your milestones test, students, you're going to engage in an interactive project, learning about how your city was developed and learning how you can be engaged in helping to lead your city. When I met Amani and Jaquil last week, we talked about what it would be like to have millions more people in this city. Jaquil said to me, well, why are they coming here? Remember that, Jaquil? Okay, yes. He said, well, why are they coming here? We talked about the push-pull theory of migration. There's something that attracts people to the city of Atlanta. But we also talked about the fact that you students are growing up here. This is your city. But right now, all over the country, all over the world, there are students your age who will be going to high school next year, who will then be graduating college, and may make the choice to come to Atlanta. We want you to welcome them and be able to lead your own city. We believe in the Office of Social Studies and in APS that a quality, equitable education and access is your birthright as being children of the city of Atlanta. So I charge you to be open to what you're going to learn about in the spring. I charge you to think about what you want your home to be, and I charge you to think about how you will be engaged in our government, how you will be engaged in building your own communities, and how you will be engaged in welcoming the millions more visitors who will become your neighbors. This is your home, and I hope that you take advantage of the projects that we're writing for you, and I hope that you continue to have pride in your city and in being APS students. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tim Keane, and I work for Mayor Reed. Atlanta is a growing city. During Mayor Reed's administration, Atlanta has actually grown for the first time in a generation. And Mayor Reed recognized that over the next generation, over your generation, the city has the opportunity to grow in a way that it never has in its whole history. So he asked us in the planning department to do something that no other city's done, and we produced something called the Atlanta City Design at his direction. Cities don't think of themselves as places that need to be designed, but we think they need to. And that's what this is about, Atlanta leading the way. And by leading the way, allowing its residents to guide and shape the city's future. And there's no, if you think about it, this is more than anything, this piece of work is for you young men and women in this room. 5 years from now, you'll be graduating from high school. 5 years later, you'll be starting your life in whatever you decide to do, what you aspire to do. And we all hope that you do it in Atlanta and that you understand that everything you ever want to become, no matter what it is, can happen in this city. And we hope you see that in this design. We appreciate so much Mayor Reed's leadership and his direction to us to do things that nobody else has done. This wouldn't have happened without him doing that. And we were frankly shocked when Janine and her team came up with, because Janine and her team work nights. They've been to the studio working nights, trying to figure this thing out. And it's such a creative, inspiring group of people that are serving the kids of this city. It's amazing. So thank you, Janine, also. And lastly, I'll just say that I don't know about this thing, but it's called Snapchat, apparently. And for the kids here, if you go to @ATL City Studio, you can follow our work and see about this event today on this thing they call Snapchat. Also, we have posters for all the kids here today that we'll give to your teachers, and they'll give to you in your classroom so you can take them home and put them in your room. You know, like every kid wants that, right? You know, a poster of the city in their room. But thank you. And next to speak is Mayor Reed, the 59th mayor of the city, who has produced this and so much for Atlanta. Mayor Reed, come on up.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing, Brown? All right. That's better. That's better. Where's the wonderful principal, Mrs. Crooms? Please give her a huge round of applause. She is, woo! I wish I had a principal like that. I do want to break program for just a bit. And someone please tell me the name of the amazing choir director that you had. What's her name? Oh man, she was doing it. Please have the young people stand up, the choir director stand up. You all lifted my day. I didn't know I was gonna get that. I was a show choir kid when I was in high school. I was in a group called Peach at Westwood High School. So I'm telling you, y'all didn't see it because she was facing us, but she was giving it the full effect. So that was terrific. I also want to thank my friend and an amazing leader for our school system in the city of Atlanta. We are a blessed place because Dr. Maria Kasim is our superintendent. Please rise to your feet and give her a round of applause. Now, I know Brown has to be one of the best middle schools in the city because seated to my left, your right, really are so many outstanding exemplars who happen to lead our Board of Education. Your young chairman, Courtney English, is here today. Byron Amos is here today. Matt Westmoreland is here today. Isha Collins is here today, and your new future chairman, Jason Estevez. All of you rise to your feet. People need to see the passion behind APS. And I really want to thank Janine. Janine didn't know she was going to speak today, so you know that she is clean all the time. It matches with Janine. And she is the person that had the vision to create the partnership with Tim Keane with a very simple mission. If you are a citizen that understands your city and knows about its possibilities, you are more likely to benefit from its success. Every day in the city of Atlanta, thousands of people are bringing and building their dreams here. We're the #1 location in the world for movie and television production. So if you want to be a movie star or an actor, we're one of the leading cities for music and entertainment. If you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or a firefighter or a professor or a teacher or a superintendent or a board member or a mayor, it's all just a few blocks away from you. But I tell you what, no matter who you are, you can't dream about something that you have never seen. It's hard. The purpose of the city design is to give you a knowledge of your city, so as opposed to sitting in a classroom talking about something, you can say, teacher, I understand there's this a few blocks away, why don't we go and see it? And I remember that when I was a little older than you, I was 13 years old, I saw a man who's one of the greatest men I've ever known. His name is Ambassador Andrew Young, and he was given the Men's Day sermon at Ben Hill United Methodist Church off Campbellton Road in Southwest Atlanta. And my mother got us dressed for church that day. I did not want to go. I was looking kind of sleepy the way some of you all are listening and looking at me right now. And I remember that my mother was blown away by who Ambassador Andrew Young was. And so I asked my mom, I said, Mom, what's the big deal? She said, Ambassador Young stood on the front lines of freedom for you and stood shoulder to shoulder with Dr. Martin Luther King. What I know is on that day, I went home and I looked in these things called encyclopedias. You all don't know about them, but we used to have these things called Encyclopedia Britannicas. You all have Google. We had encyclopedias. and I looked up Ambassador Andrew Young, and it was on that day that I decided that I was going to be the mayor of the city of Atlanta. And 32 years, 27 years later, when I got elected at the age of 40 years old, sitting on the couch next to me at the Hyatt Hotel when I got the call telling me that I had been elected your 59th mayor, sat Ambassador Andrew Young. So, that's really what the city design concept is all about. And it's about making sure that you can touch and feel your city. And I didn't want to be anywhere else but in this magnificent school, on this great campus, in this wonderful community, saying thank you. Keep believing in Atlanta. You know, you got to make an early decision. I want you all to decide what you want to do with your lives as quickly as you possibly can. Doesn't mind if you change your mind, but you're better off once you have made a decision about what you want to be. One of the things that Tim said is that there are tens of thousands of people moving into the city of Atlanta for all of these opportunities that are occurring. But don't let anybody else take your opportunity. Make sure that one of those opportunities are yours to claim. We will not be the city on a hill, the magnificent city that I know that we can be, unless each and every one of you have a fair shot and a fair shake at one of those dreams. I love each and every young person here. God bless you and cover you for all of the days of your life. Thank you for having me.
Amani, I'm going to ask you to join me. She's one of my favorite cheerleaders. She helped us at the State of the District. You're going to help us do a little cheer of appreciation. Our mayor is transitioning from the 59th mayor to our new 60th mayor. All right, so can we do a little cheer? Are y'all going to help us? Get your classmates to help you. Get out there. Come on. So it's going to be a call and response, right? So when I say Kasim, you say Reed. Kasim, Reed. Kasim, Reed. You get the idea? Okay, ready? When I say Kasim, you say Reed. Kasim. Reed. Kasim. Reed. When I say, give me something. Okay, so we're gonna do brown bulldogs. Okay, so here we go. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. When I say Kasim, you say Reed. Kasim. Reed. Kasim. Reed. When I say brown, you say dogs. Brown. Brown. Okay, so here we go. Now you have the 59th mayor completely committed to your school forever. So you're going to invite him back. Also, I'm going to invite up our Student Governance Association. Come on up, Jacob. Where else? Who's DeMarcus? Where are y'all? Where everybody on the Student Government Association, come on up. Come on up. Part of why we're all here, right, is because of our students and also because of the leadership and the vision of Mayor Kasim Reed and Commissioner Keane, right? All right, so here's the thing. If you look at the exit signs, you'll have dream and believe and a lot of other inspiring things all across our schools. It's one of our newest renovated schools and is going to be part of the new community that's going to help transform Atlanta. And part of the history lesson that you heard from Mayor Reed was about his relationship with Ambassador Young. But there are other great people who represented Atlanta throughout that process as well. And there's one that's super, super famous. Can you name who he is? Thank you, Martin Luther King, right? Okay, so Martin Luther King once said that, once there's like peace and harmony and understanding in a community, post the nonviolence, in the aftermath of that, there's a creation of a thing called the beloved community. The beloved community. Right? And so this is what I think our mayor and our commissioner has been working toward. They are trying to ensure that you have a community that's going to wrap its arms around you and love you forever. But here's the key. Can't do that if you don't do your part, which means you have to learn a lot about who you are and what your community is. And so this community is going to be very different to a community that's up north or further south or further east or further west. And so the curriculum that you're going to be studying in 8th grade is going to be about really learning how to navigate all of Atlanta, but actually making a difference in your own community. All right, so can you tell me, Jacob, what you actually think a beloved community is? What are we asking people to do? Don't look at my notes. There's nothing in there for you, brother. No. Use your noggin.
Okay, we're asking them to like change their souls and look at the community and
Change their souls, so that means that they're changing the way they feel about things, so that what happens?
that they get a brighter future or look at things even better.
Okay. Anybody else got an idea about a beloved community? Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Miles McFarland, and I think a beloved community should be like equal distribution of like education, like same teachers and free education for all, so we can make the community better, and so every student can have like a fair shot to a community.
That's deep. DeMarcus, you got something to say? All right, come on, little brother. Bring it home. Bring it home. What do you think a beloved community is?
I believe a beloved community is a place that everyone enjoys living, they have no problems, and then they try to make the community look better by bringing in other people. And then, like what Mayor Reed said, how come our community is evolving where we can be a part of movie production. We're now the new Yollywood or Hollywood, but yeah, it brings a lot of people into the city, making it look better than how it sounds.
All right. All right. So I'm talking about a beloved community because guess what's the name of the book you're going to be getting about Atlanta? Who knows the name of the book? So it starts with the Atlanta City Design, aspiring to be
a beloved community.
Perfect, perfect. So this is why it's so important that you need to kind of figure out that definition in your mind and then go live it, talk about it. So speaking of living it, right, the Beltline is right near here. Who's been on the Beltline? All right, what did you do on the Beltline? You come tell us. What did you do with your friends on the Beltline?
Well, my name is Napatiri, and the things that we did on the Beltline was exercise, walk around. We discovered new places that we've never been in Atlanta, and we just enjoyed ourselves while walking on it.
And did you produce anything? Didn't y'all come back and do like a book or a project or something? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Well, I know that y'all actually did a little Beltline book project, and do you remember it? I'm certain I have the right group. Y'all were definitely on the Beltline. But I appreciate your support of my speech. Anyway, you are an amazing school that did an amazing project, and you're actually near the Beltline, and you are absolutely going to be able to participate in this. Goodness. And what's your name? Thank you, Miss Sydney. I appreciate you being up here. All right, but we did have, in addition to student leadership, and of course your principal leadership, and of course the city's leadership, we also had the leadership of Janean, and we will always be so incredibly grateful of her efforts in making this possible. Miss Lewis, you are outstanding, and we're so fortunate to have you. I'm always incredibly proud of this partnership. It is something that is sometimes difficult to do. When a lot of people are trying to do the right things, sometimes we step all over each other trying to make things better for our students. But in this case, I absolutely want to say that we've had such a great relationship with the city because of Mr. Keane. And he has been, he's worked during the day, but I know after hours, meeting and talking to the superintendent about his vision and hope for this project. We're incredibly grateful grateful for your commitment and your leadership as well. Y'all make a great team, and we're looking forward to so many other wonderful outcomes from this project. Now, at the end of the day, all of us are here. I know everybody gets to work for somebody, but I actually work for you, the students. But I don't get to do this work alone. I know they were introduced before, but I want to thank our school board members for being here today, especially the chair of the board, Byron Amos, who is the board member for this district, Matt Westmoreland, Jason Estevez, and Ishay Collins. Again, all here to support you and make sure that we're able to do more things like this in bigger ways for not just Brown, but all the schools in Atlanta Public Schools. And you know that no school is perfect without having a really great principal, and Principal Crooms is much beloved. We have a beloved community. We have a beloved principal in her. So I think that all of you will have an opportunity to be part of this very special project. I know that the design ideas for the future are going to be coming from young people just like you. And even if you can't remember what you did in class, you will have your classmates to remind you so that you can always be doing great work for your school and for our community. As your superintendent, I am always proud to be with our students. I love Atlanta. I love our children. I love this school. Brown is just one of the best. And so I always thank you for welcoming me, for making this a special opportunity for our mayor and for our school board and for our city, but also for yourselves. I'm incredibly proud of you and wish you the very best for the rest of the school year. So I want to be sure that I invite back up to the stage for a special presentation. Mr. Keane, you're coming up, correct? No, you're not? Okay, well, how about we get Jaquel? You want to close it out then? And I just want to tell you, I know like you think that you don't want the poster, maybe like the poster of the city is too blah, but if you hold it up to fluorescent light, Jay-Z and Beyonce are, you can see them through it just for kicks and giggles, just to make sure you hang it up in your bedroom. Yeah? Okay, you ready? You close it out.
All right. Good afternoon, Dr. Maria Kasim, Mayor Kasim Reed, and distinguished guests. My name is Jaquel Dennison, and I am a member of J.E. Brown School Student Government Association. As a member of the Student Government Association, I am charged with the responsibility of being a leader in my school and community. Therefore, I charge you to also be active in your school, community, and city. Since the 1996 Olympics, Atlanta has become the world-class city. It is important for you to be knowledgeable and informed of these changes of our city. Therefore, when you leave Brown Middle School, I want you to be informed that we will be engaged and become leaders in our city. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. Thank you.